I'm on an airplane, and the destination of this flight is to the other side.
Welcome to part 2 of my video. Yes, I did it all in the same day because I'm telling y'all, if I don't, then y'all might not get a part 2. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the economy, the culture in Amman, Jordan, and the Israelite community here in Amman, Jordan. So stay tuned. Okay, so the first thing, excuse me, the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the economy in Amman, Jordan, and this is kind of going to go hand in hand with the culture. Pretty much everything that I talk about kind of goes hand in hand with the culture. So, um, the first thing that I want to talk about is employment because I get a lot of emails about employment and what people can do to get employed here. Excuse me. So the first thing that I'm going to say is that I'm going to drop some links below in this video of some websites that have job listings, and also some websites that have apartment listings, because I get a lot of repetitive emails. Of course, you guys don't know that they're repetitive, but I get a lot of repetitive email for that information. Okay, so check out the links below for apartment listings and job listings. Employment in Jordan is usually easier for a woman to get a job here than a man. A lot of times the Israelite women that get jobs here get jobs as teachers. Uh, that's the sound of a gas truck going by. Employment. Okay, so like I was saying, I've taught at 3 or 4 different schools here. All the schools have hired me illegally. Yes, I said illegally. And it can end up causing you problems if you work for a job that hires you illegally. Why? Because what's illegal about it is that they don't want to help you to get a work permit or to get a more permanent visa or residency. Any of those things you would need unless you're gonna decide to go back out of Jordan and come back in Jordan to renew your visa. There is a certain amount of renewing a visa that you can do when you first get to the airport here. You're gonna get a stamp on your visa, and it's gonna be for 30 days. So after 30 days of you getting here, you're gonna have to go to a police station. Now, I've been here for 2 years, and every time I want to go to a police station, it's always different ones or different ones for different things. So usually you need to find a good cab driver that knows where you need to go to get your passport taken care of. A lot of cab drivers know if you get a good English speaking one, you need to get their number and keep their number and call them or hit them up when it's time for you to go to get your visa taken care of. Usually it's at the police station. So when you first get here, after 30 days, you go to the police station, you get it extended. They say for 3 months, but really it's 2 months because they count the first 30 days as a month. So after 2 months, you can go back again and you can ask for another extension, and they'll give you another extension for 3 months. Now, the second time you go back for this extension is at a different police station. So that's why I say, be mindful of the police station that you have to go to. But if you go to the wrong one, they will tell you which one to go to. And then after you get that second extension for another 3 months, you can't get another extension after that. I mean, I've tried and they say you can, but it'll be a lot of hassle. And if you wait past the time that you have stamped on your passport, then you're going to get overstay fees, which is 1.5 JD a day, which is about $3 a day. And I could tell you some horror stories about overstay. It gets really expensive, the overstay fees, if you don't stay on top of going in and out. So if you need to go out, you can go out the border at Israel, or you can go into Egypt. Now, I have been to Israel twice. Every time that I went to Israel, it's been an absolutely horrible experience. The Israelis are just disgusting people. They and really it's towards Israelites because of course we know they know who we are. They want to ask you 1,000,001 questions. The second time that I went, literally I was the first person at the counter for them to ask questions, but I was the last person to leave. They asked me my grandma's maiden name, where I used to work at. It's pretty much a mini interrogation as to why you want to go into Israel. Then eventually I just told them the last time that I went, I'm only going just because I want to renew my visa. So when they finally let me in and I go around, literally around the other side of the building to pay my exit fees to leave out, they had an issue with, why are you leaving? I was like, I told y'all that I was only coming to renew my visa. I don't want to stay here. I just want to go back out. They literally pulled me out of line to interrogate me as to why I was leaving back out. So any type of level of harassment they can give an Israelite, they're going to give an Israelite. Just know that. And also, it can be pricey. For you to catch a cab from Amman to the Israel border, it's going to cost about 40 JD, I think. And then you have to catch another cab to go into the border area because a regular cab can't go there. That's another 3 JD. Then to leave Jordan to go into Israel, you have to pay an exit fee, which I think is about 10 JD. And then you have to pay a fee to get on a bus, which I think is about 1 or 2 JDs. Then you get to Israel. You don't pay anything when you get in Israel. You don't pay for your visa. But when you leave back out of Israel to come back into Jordan, you have to pay exit fees in to leave Israel, and then you have to, when you get back into Jordan, you have to pay for your visa. Now, here's a little tidbit that I didn't know when I first did it. When you come back, you're going to either have to pay 40 JD, and that's if you want to get a tourist visa, or you can say you live in Jordan and you only have to pay 10 JD. So at the time that I got my visa the second time, the guy was like, so are you visiting? Are you going to stay more than 30 days? I was like, yeah, I live here. I've been living here for a few years. And he was like, oh, okay, 10 JD. And he gave me a 10 JD visa. So heads up to the wise, when you go back out and everything else, you can tell them that you live in Jordan and they'll only charge you 10 JDs on your visa. And then, you come on back to Amman, and you have to do that pretty much every 5 months. And that's if you don't get a job that helps you out with that. Now, I've had some people that get a job. I've heard some testimonies of people that get a job here, and the school says that they're going to help him, and that was my testimony too. Says that they're going to help them, and then they don't, and they procrastinate. Don't let these people get you caught up with they hired you and they're procrastinating with getting your visa, because you'll end up having to foot those overstay fees from the time that you were waiting on them to renew your visa, and your visa is not renewed. So if they're procrastinating, which Jordanians are very good procrastinators and smooth talkers, like, yeah, we will, don't worry. They love to tell you, don't worry. You should worry. When they say don't worry, worry. Okay? So just make sure that you personally stay accountable for your visa issues, anything you have to do with your visa over here while you're here. So if a man does get a job, here's how most of the time I've heard of men getting a job. Now, my husband has gotten offered a job from one of the websites that I've listed below. It was a customer service job. They were willing to pay him about 400 JDs a month. And he had to work pretty much 40 hours a week. They do not pay you weekly or bi-weekly. They pay you monthly. Okay, so 400 JD a month is $565. This is how much you're going to get paid a month with an average job. Usually the types of jobs that men can get, 400 JD a month. And in any type of part-time job is usually per month. Now, the average cost of an apartment, a 1-bedroom is pretty much the same price as a 2-bedroom, and the average price of those can run between $300 and $400 depending on where you're living, and some can run from $500 to $600, and this is all JD, not USD. For every one USD, you only get 70 pieces of Jordanian money. So your money can get ate up. If you have some type of steady income that comes in monthly from America, just be wise when you decide to come here about your budget, because your money will go faster than it would in America, because things are just the currency conversion is you're gonna lose money. So anyway, the amount of money that you would make in 1 month, you're pretty much gonna have to spend in rent. Now for some teaching jobs, the lowest that I've heard people get paid is 500 JD, which is $705 and the highest I've heard of people getting paid, and these are American English speaking people, is about $1,400 a month. But this is monthly, and that's pretty much a high amount of money to get paid. The average payment for a teacher here is between 500 and 600 JD a month. Okay, so pretty much, if you're a household, the husband and the wife is probably going to need to work to support the household. If the wife is just working and the husband's not working, you're going to have some hard times. You're going to have some struggles. So I would suggest that both people get a job. And another thing, a lot of the work that you get here, if you can't find it online, it's kind of like America back in the 70s or 80s, I guess you could say. It's a lot of word of mouth, people referencing you to other jobs, and maybe you just even beating the pavement, getting out there and going to some local schools or some local areas and going in and asking about a job. Now, the majority of Jordanians only want to hire Jordanians. It is what it is. I mean, it's already a high unemployment rate amongst the Jordanians. So imagine being a citizen of another country and trying to get a job here. It's very hard. And also, if they do hire you, they want you to have a work permit. And it's not necessary that they're going to help you get the work permit. I know recently my husband was offered a job and they were telling him that he had to have a work permit. But because we were planning on leaving, we decided not to go through that big fiasco of paying the money and dealing with getting a work permit. So we didn't do too much research into what all getting a work permit, what all it requires to get a work permit. Taxis here. Beware of crooked taxi drivers. I mean, there's crooked taxi drivers in every country that you visit. But let me tell you the methods of the crooked taxi drivers here. First of all, you're an American. They're going to automatically think that you have money. Always, 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 if you're somewhere downtown buying something, try to barter. Don't always take the first price, because a lot of times they're going to try to get over. Now, me being here for a few months, when somebody charge me something now, when I go downtown or wherever, I pretty much know if they're giving me a fair deal or not, so I don't really have to do the bargaining thing. But if you look like a tourist, they're going to treat you like a tourist, and they're going to try to get over on you. But anyway, so when I catch a taxi here, cab, whatever you want to call it, the most I've ever paid for going anywhere from where I'm at to anywhere else, and I've been all over Amman, is no more than 4 JD. 5 JD, I would say, literally at the most, and that's like if you're going somewhere in rush hour time, traffic time, because the longer you sit, of course, the meter's running. Now, you shouldn't pay more than that. My husband has had times where he's went out and the cab driver has did some little funny stuff to their meter, and this is a route that he's used to taking, and the cab fare was double what he used to pay. I would have to say beware if they click on their meter too many times. That's all I can say, because I don't even know how they had that meter rigged. I have never had that happen to me, but my husband told me it happened to him, and it's only happened to him once, so that's not really the common problem here. The common problem is that they'll try to give you a flat rate. If you tell them where you're going, they'll say 4 JD or 5 JD. Especially if you're leaving from a mall or a touristy area, they definitely going to try to get you. So never take a flat rate. Tell them no, you want to use the meter. If they don't want to use the meter, you can be patient and you can wait for the next cab to come around, and you can pretty much catch a cab with them, because they will try to get over what you want a flat rate. If you don't have time, or if your budget allows and you're really trying to get somewhere, then hey, you can catch the flat rate cab. It's all up to you what you want to do. But just know, if they're trying to charge you a flat rate, more than likely it's double the cost of what it would take you to get somewhere. Shopping here. Okay, shopping here is pretty much really good. Some of my favorite malls to visit, which are the bigger malls here that have a more variety of shops here, is City Mall, Mecca Mall, Taj Mall, Galleria Mall, and Swifia Mall. Now, the Swifia Mall and the Swifia area have really good shopping. Also, Tal Ali is a good place to go shopping. When I tell you, you can get, shirts 2 or 3 JD, sometimes really good quality. Taj Mall also has a movie theater in it, and this is going into my category of entertaining. Mind you, when a movie is released, in America. It takes about 2 weeks to get here, and they don't have all the movies here that they have in America. When I went to Taj Mahal, which I just went recently, I noticed that they didn't have any rated R movies. So I want to say that they don't play rated R movies here. I'm not absolutely 100% sure if that's the truth, but I think they don't play rated R movies here. I don't really go out the house much. I'm more of a homebody. I've always been like that. I did go out a lot more in America than I did here, but because of the staring and the racism and the being served last, my spirit just don't feel like battling these spirits all the time. My opinion in this category can be a little bit biased or a little bit unknowledgeable because I just don't go out as much, but I do know that they have bowling here. They have bowling in Mukhtar Mall, and they have bowling in Swifia Mall. Good areas to live. 7th Circle, Khalda, and Abdoon. These are some of the most expensive areas to live in, but they're more foreigner friendly. There's a lot of foreigners in the area, so the issues that you might deal with staring, and racism, you won't deal with as much in those areas because it's usually a lot of tourists in those areas as it is. So you're pretty much surrounded by tourists and not by a lot of Jordanians, so you won't deal with it as much. But if you live in some areas where it's predominantly Jordanians, then you will deal with that. Some other areas that are good, inexpensive areas to live in: Tal Ali, Jubeha, yeah, I don't want to give out other areas because I've never actually lived in those areas myself. All the areas that I've listed, I've literally lived in, or I know somebody who's lived there and I've visited them frequently. So yeah, Tal Ali and Jubeha are very cheap areas. Jubeha is the cheapest area that I've lived in. It's very cheap. I had a 2-bedroom apartment for 440 JD, so that's a really good price. But I didn't really like the area because it was a lot of Syrians there. From what I was told, they were Syrians. And it was just really unruly. It was the children were outside playing all day. It was dirty there. But there's just like I come from Houston, so there's areas of Third Ward in Houston that are really nice, and there's areas of Third Ward of Houston that's not so nice. So it just depends on where you live. Just be mindful of the apartment that you pick and the people that are around in those areas, and try to visit the area later on in the evening when people are off and school's out to see if it's an area that you would like to live in.
But I say fire.
So my last topic is the Israelite community here in Amman and Jordan, period, because not all Israelites live here in Amman. Now, for the other Israelites that's watching this video that are in Amman, that feel some type of way about me, this is my testimony. If you don't like what I say in my testimony, then maybe you shouldn't have played your part in creating that testimony for me. It is what it is. The truth going to be known. The Most High going to bring the truth out. And I think other Israelites should be aware of what's going on over here. I mean, what, for the lack of a better word, shit storm they could be walking into. And if I can help anybody to be cautious, to prevent them from doing that, then I'm going to let my testimony speak. I mean, the scriptures is nothing but a whole bunch of testimonies. So here it is. I've been getting a lot of feedback, a lot of emails about my video. And I want people to know that you have people that are dependent and people that are independent. Fortunately, because of my military background, I'm a very, very self-sufficient, independent person. So whenever I planned on coming over here to Jordan, I made sure that I had a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? I was not going to get stuck out and, get deterred from my mission here and get go back to America. I've seen a lot of Israelites come here and have no other option but to go back to America because of their experiences from being over here, whether it be the people, the Jordanians, the other Israelites, the lack of being able to find a job. It's a numerous amount of reasons. It's not just one reason why people come here and have to go back to America, but it happens, and it's happened quite a few times to a couple people that I have witnessed. So just be prepared before you come. Now, a lot of the emails that I've been getting, people asking me about, where can I go to look for apartments? Where can I go to look for jobs? Yes, it's very wise to tap a resource, but at the same time, if you cannot be resourceful, how can you expect to survive in another country if you can't be resourceful on your own? Let me give you a perfect example, which is my testimony. When I came over here, I met what I thought to be a beautiful sister that was somewhat helpful with me getting over here. Little did I know there were ulterior motives in me coming over here. Okay? So I get over here and truth is revealed to me. So I decide to distance myself from the sister and the people that she was dealing with, and take a step on faith, because the Most High always got me, just proceed to live life here. When I decided to do that, that sister told the people that she was rooming with, or the people that she knew, not to deal with me. Don't help me because they spoke Arabic. Don't help her out. Not that I needed their help, but she told them not to help me. Now, this is an Israelite sister that's promoting people to come out here, would tell other people, don't help me, as if it was going to keep me from being successful over here. And recently, unfortunately, I had to I was faced with speaking to that sister, and she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you're still here in Jordan." And I know it was because she thought that I wasn't going to be able to make it, and I wasn't going to be able to survive out here because I didn't have resources. But I'm a very smart cookie, and the Most High got my back. So I'm fine. I was fine. I've never had a stumble with being unsuccessful with anything I needed under here, but that's because I prepared myself, and I'm a very resourceful person. So if you're not a resourceful person and you're dependent, and that situation would have happened to you, and that sister would have did that to you, you might have had to end up going back to America. And unfortunately, she has done that to a few other people here. So just be careful with being dependent on another person with any information with coming to Jordan. Don't depend on another person. Research for yourself. Get on the ground here. Talk to some cab drivers. Talk to some locals, the ones that are friendly. You'll be okay. The Most High got you. Of course, pray and fast when you need to get whatever you need taken care of. But that's my advice to you. That's my number one advice about the Israelite community here. Don't be dependent. Be able to stand on your own and stand apart. Because that leads me to my next point. There is a lot of high school, Christian church, cult-like behavior, pack mentality going on over here. That's why it's important for you to stand apart. If you don't call the same name as some people, they don't want to deal with you. If you don't keep the Sabbath like some people keep it, they don't want to deal with you. Now, of course, actually, I won't say keep the Sabbath, because everybody knows or should know how to keep the Sabbath. But everybody's walk in the truth is different. So everybody might have the different understanding of the name. I would never tell somebody I don't want to deal with them because of the name that they call on. If anything, I would say, hey, if we're going to pray together, let's make sure we just refer to the Most High as the Most High. Let's refer to the Son as the Son. Instead of using names, let's keep it neutral. That's the peaceable thing to do, is to keep it neutral instead of just shunning your brother or your sister because they don't use the same name as you do. I think that's just preposterous. But anyway, beware, because there is a lot of cult-like, camp-like behavior that goes on like that. And most of the time, you'll see the people that are dependent on the opinions and the validation of others. They'll be the ones that group themselves together, and they'll also put these walls up to where if you want to deal with them, they're kind of standoffish. They want to ask you questions. Who did you study from? Yeah, that's what I mean by camp-like, cult-like, high school Christian church doctrine type behavior. Beware of that. And once again, be able to stand on your own. A lot of people ask me to introduce them to people. I will not introduce you to anybody Why? Because I don't want nobody coming back to me. You introduced me to this sister, or you introduced me to this brother, and they wasn't a good person. I don't want to be accountable for that. I don't even want to hear it. So what I would say is the Most High gonna put in your path who's supposed to be in your path. The second thing to that, to the people that he does put in your path, test their spirit. What I mean by test their spirit is meet up with them a few times, see them a few times. There is a saying that says you don't know people unless you do business with them or unless you live with them. And I can say after the things that I've been through here, that is absolutely true. Um, so that leads me to my next subject. Okay. Um, be aware of rooming situations. Okay. So, I've seen and witnessed people that have met people online and they get over here and they want to roommate with them. And of course, people can put a mask on and that mask can stay on until you do something to make them feel where that mask needs to come off. Okay, so people get here, they think a person is all peachy and oh, this person, oh, I love them. That sister is so righteous. That brother is righteous. And then next thing they know, that person be wicked as hell. And that person be doing some stuff that, behind closed doors, you would never imagine that person doing or those people doing. It happens. So beware of roommate situations. I would say don't be roommates with other people. If you roommates with somebody, a brother and sister, brother or sister, let them be a person that you met and you knew and you tested their spirit before you even came here. The scriptures say test people's spirits before you welcome them into your home. I wish I would have known that scripture because I have had some unfortunate situations happen to me where I've opened my spirit, my heart, and my home and my wallet to people. And when things didn't go their way, I became the wicked witch of the West. I was a witch. I was a CIA agent. I was this. I was that. I was everything under the sun because I could no longer assist them financially because it was too much of a burden on me. And instead of them accepting that I couldn't handle that burden anymore, they went and bared false witness on me and told people, oh, she had the money, she just didn't want to help. Which leads me to my next subject. If you do not have the means to support yourself, sustain yourself with shelter and food for at least 3 to 6 months when you come here, do not come. I have seen more than a few Israelites come out here, more than a few come out here with a limited amount of money, and when they run out, they got their hands out to the Israelites that may have been blessed with a little more money than them. And then it becomes a sense of entitlement with you doing for them. Oh, the scriptures say you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, you're supposed to feed us, you're supposed to take care of us. Some people will go to the extent of saying, oh, we family, we all supposed to be doing this all together. No, that's not the truth. Truth. Everybody is responsible and accountable for taking care of their own household. That's number one. That a lot of people don't. It's been a lot of those issues in the Israelite community. A lot of people don't understand that they are responsible for taking care of their own household, and anything you do for them outside, anything that you do for them is a blessing to them, and it's you blessing them. A lot of times people think that you just this empty vessel and the Most High just steering your spirit to do something and you have no choice in the matter. But the Most High gave us free will. That's how we have the free will to follow the commandments or to commit sin. So anytime someone bless you, that's a blessing from that person, of course, through the Most High, but that's a choice of that person to do. Seen often over here is people guilt tripping others into helping them take care of their responsibilities or shaming them when they don't help them take care of their responsibilities. It's no one's responsibility to take care of another household or another person. Scripture say if a man don't work, he don't eat. So Paul talked about that explicitly about people, not wanting to work and so on and so forth, and then depending on other people. That's not the way it goes. That's not scriptural. That's not righteous. You need to be standing on your own 2 feet, and you need to have the money and the skills to be able to survive over here. So if you don't, take some time to build that stuff up, because I have seen people who came over here and thought that they was gonna weasel their way from guilt tripping people and everything else and to take care of them, and then they ended up back in America, because of course the Most High is not going to let people take advantage of people but for so long. So to all those people that did it to me, hey, it was a learning lesson. I should have known, test people's spirit, and don't not to overextend myself. So I forgive you. It is what it is. I'm over the situation, and I'm moving on in my life, and I hope that you are too, and I hope that you be blessed. And I just hope that if you are watching this video, that that it's never right to hold someone else accountable for your responsibilities. When you come over here dealing with the Israelite community, don't fall victim to reproach. Let me give you the definition of what reproach is. Okay? Reproach is to address someone in such a way as to express disapproval or disappointment. Okay, so of course everybody has a testimony to share. I'm sharing my testimony right now, but I'm not naming names. Now, see, if I was to name names, that would cause people to have disdain or reproach towards the people that did me wrong, and that's wrong. Um, a lot of it's gone on, and I've definitely distanced myself from the Israelite community. I can count on one hand how many Israelites I deal with over here, and when I first got here, I could count on one hand how many Israelites was here. So that tells you a lot about some of the spirits of the people that's coming over here. They are not too righteous. Okay, so when you're dealing with someone and you meet someone, if the first thing that they want to do is talk nasty about this person over here, or you mention, oh yeah, I know Sister Kaela, or I seen Sister Kaela videos, and the first thing they want to do is talk negative about me or say negative things, beware of that person. Because if they doing it to me, they're going to do it to you. If they do it to you, they're going to do it to somebody else. So beware of people like that. Also, if you're the type of person that takes one side of a story and one person's testimony and you run with it, and you decide, oh, I don't want to deal with that person, I heard bad stuff about them, you will be held accountable for that as well. Well, that is unrighteous for you to do, because there's always three sides to a story: their side, your side, and the Most High side. Because the Most High know everything, and in due time, the Most High gonna reveal the truth. And when the truth is revealed, and that person's name that was perjured against and lied on and bear false witness against is clear, you're gonna be standing there looking real stupid for taking the side of the wicked one. So just beware of people who will try to get you to cause reproach to someone else. Test everybody's spirit. Get to meet everybody, and still be able to stand on your own. As far as the fellowship in here, because I know I get emails about the fellowship in here, um, the Israelite community here is pretty much dwindling down with the people that I actually was dealing with. A lot of people are leaving, going different places. So it's not as many people here as it was when I at the I would say at the good time in the Israelite community where we would get together and we would have feasts. Now, I don't believe in getting together on the Sabbath day because I believe the Sabbath day is between me and the Lord. I know other people do, but I don't believe in traveling too far from my home and everything else. I don't know if people get together on the Sabbath. I really have distanced myself from the camp cult like behavior. So I can't answer that. And as of right now, as of standing, any feast days that we have or anything like that, either me and my husband, it's just me and my husband, or we may deal with a few other Israelites that we get together with and we have feast days with them. I think that's pretty much it. So with that, I will say that is the end of my 2-part video of my experience living in Amman, Jordan as an Israelite. I hope that this video provided some edification. I hope that it assists some of you all. If this video makes you feel like you want to reconsider coming to Jordan, do what the Spirit leads you. I know another great place that a lot of other Israelites in that's very inexpensive is Egypt. Maybe one day I'll visit there, and if I do, I will definitely make a video, or possibly, because I don't know how I feel about being on a platform and making videos. I'm really a low-key person. I don't really like to be out there. So I'm a very private person, but I just may, don't hold me to it, make a video about living in Egypt. But I've heard that Egypt is another great place to go for those that are searching to be within the borders, and they're like, oh, Jordan don't sound like a good place. I've heard very great things about Egypt. So with that, may the Most High bless all those righteous walking in the Spirit of the Most High. Shalom to all of Israel and the southern kingdom scattered abroad. May you be able to come home soon and have peace in your life. I know we living in the last days and we don't have much time left. So make sure that you pay attention to what the Spirit is telling you. You're conscious of what's going on in the news. And I hope to see you in the wilderness. Shalom. Shalom.
Guess I had to go there. Guess I had to come here, yeah. I know where I'm from, but now I'm headed where I'm going, right?